Ah,
Oh
well,
God, we were totally muted.
we were talking about all sorts of great stuff.
I
Like
know.
about
If that wasn't for you hostility, who knows how long that would have gone on for.
Copenhagen came through as well,
All
so
right,
that's nice.
thanks,
Thank you.
guys. And
We were-
hello, welcome to Afreeca World. Add on generic intro, and we've got Starcraft.
You
It
know
wouldn't
who
be an
we
Afreeca
are.
World without something like that.
Probably not. I was just talking to LaughNgamez here. You probably saw our mouths moving. But I just have to recalibrate who I think Solar is based on whether it's an online or an offline tournament.
Yes, that
Just
was a
because
very
Solar's, yeah, it's approximately 8 times better online than he is offline. So he could easily win this thing, even though Beyond's been on a tear recently. So I think this is going to be a pretty darn competitive Africa world.
not to mention Zest. Can't sleep on Zest.
Oh no, not at all. Zest is great. Zoun is fantastic. He's a younger player. He qualified for his first GSL this year, which was a good step to take.
Indeed,
He actually
indeed.
took games off special, and I want to say somebody else he
I think he
beat.
did. He knock out Patience, maybe.
That might have been what it was. It was
Yeah.
a couple players who aren't like they've won GSLs, but a couple really good players that he beat, or at least took games off of. So yeah, don't sleep on Zoun, man. This guy's good. I don't expect him to win today, but he could definitely surprise us. I would not be that shocked.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we have some close games and such. And
Totally.
to expand on your point earlier of what you said before, like of Solar being sort of like a different guy from online and offline performances, I feel like Solar always performs the same, whether he's
Oh,
online or offline, but that like other players really turn it on when they've got like a big like offline match to play, whereas Solar is
ah.
generally Solar. That's how I see it anyway. But
No, that's very fair. That's a fair way to look at it, I think. I'm not going to argue with that.
but
Yeah, it's like other players, when they're at GSL, when they're at an ESL event, they turn it up. And Solar's just like, I'll just play the same way I always do because that's good
that works
enough.
online, yeah. And
Yeah, and then it's not.
no.
No. But that's okay.
All right,
He's
yeah.
uh he's much, much, much better than I will ever be. So
That's very true. Much better than the vast majority of people actually. Uh
yeah. Oh, Cope looked it up. So Zoun took a map off Morrow, that's what it was. Took a map off Morrow and special. But he did, and then he beat Patience 2-0. So, yep, our combined knowledge was fairly accurate.
nice.
So this is the Void Ray opening that we're seeing fairly often in ZVP. It's a Void Ray first to clear out the pesky Overlord. Then you can make an Oracle or make another Void Ray and go harass the third base a little bit. I've seen Stats do this. I've seen SOS do this as well. It's been something Showtime has tried to do every once in a while. So ZVP Void Ray openings getting a little bit more common here. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah, this is actually making me a little bit scared because this could very well just be. Oh my gosh, that Void Ray looks very cool when overcharged, by the way.
Yes.
But this could very well be just an opening into what is an hour-long ZVP, depending on how these guys play it out. Because it is Juggernautha, which
Yes. Big
is
map. Tons of expansions.
the split map today.
Yes.
Today, I'd say.
What's up, Underdog? Long time no see you as well. Thanks for joining the stream. Happy to have you here. Got some great players in the pipe.
Yeah, it's
So what did we do? We did Void Ray Oracle? Yeah. Void Ray Oracle. Gosh dang, second Stargate. Is he going right into Sky Toss?
I think he is.
Like no ground army at all, man. Okay, barely a ground army, but
He's
still.
got like 3 adepts.
Yeah. I mean, Solar can win this game right now if he just makes a bunch of Hydras and just goes. But he's got a Roach Horn, which isn't as good here. And he's really just needs to be droning up, which is not great for him.
Yeah, well, it's tricky for Zerg, right? Because they don't know whether it's going to be like that Protoss like
Link
baloney
setting up.
8-gate charge lot Archon all in or whatever, or it could
Yeah.
be a Protoss like Zoun's doing right now, just making a beeline right towards Void Rays and Sky Toss.
True. I guess he didn't really get a good scout on the natural base, which is what you want. Ling's at the third base of Zoun, though.
Yeah, seeing just the one Void Ray is not enough, so he needs to see something else. But interestingly enough, Zoun did get a Forge and did get a Twilight Council as well, which indicates that he does want to just make some Void Rays, then go into something else, whether it be Charge Lots or High Templar, because he is getting a Templar Archives.
It could just be Storm to support his Void Rays, right?
Storm Void Ray. Yeah, it definitely could be. I mean, you do need Storm with that late game composition.
Because Hydras will destroy your Void Rays for cost. Like, not even close.
So
but if you're storming them and they have to dodge, or you're killing a bunch of them, that goes a lot better.
Yeah, is he just going to run towards just, like, Storm and just Storm and Void Rays as quick as possible?
Charge Lots. So Charge Lot Void Ray murders Hydralisks, and then you have the Void Rays for everything else. I kind of like it. It's weird, but I kind of like it.
Oh my gosh, 6 gateways are being added on.
Yeah, I think he's going to go Charge Lots for his mineral dump. He's going to toss on a few High Templar. Storm's on the way. Oh, this is interesting.
And
I'm liking it.
Gets denied. So Solar's got no idea what he... Well, he must have a general idea since Zoun's turtling, but he doesn't really know.
Oh, I mean, here's the thing, as Zerg in this day and age. If you're not getting hit with some kind of an adept timing attack, it's probably Sky Toss.
Yeah, it probably is.
It's not a guarantee.
But as far as Solar's thinking, the thing is, there could be carriers building behind this.
Yes. But he's making Hydras, so I don't think he expects carrier. Just because, unless it's just 2 or 3 carriers, Hydras are all going to die. Hydras can take out about 2 or 3 carriers, maybe 4, but once it gets higher than that, it just doesn't trade very well for Hydralisks at all. So I think he knows it's Void Ray.
Yeah, Solar's keeping his cool anyway. Lots of units running around the map scouting. He's getting up a Lurker Den, which is interesting. I'm not sure how helpful that's going to be.
Well, that's for killing the Zealots and the High Templar, right?
Yeah, it's a fine line for Zerg to balance, getting something like Lurkers against this composition, though. So Solar definitely has his work cut out for him.
Yeah, this really seems like it's going to be a bit of a longer game. We're already on 4 bases for the Zerg pretty comfortably. 5th base probably coming up soon on that right side. Protoss going for a 4th would be my guess. But yeah, man, this Charge Lot High Templar Storm Void Ray thing.
Yeah, we hope you guys brought snacks. Like it.
Seriously, this is going to be an entertaining ZVP.
Go get yourself a bag of chips or something, guys, and come back and... This is because this definitely is the makings of a long game, unless Solar decides to pull the trigger and suicide into Zoun, but
I was gonna say he's not pulling the trigger and winning here. I don't think not with his current composition.
Yeah, when there's Psystorm for the Protoss, the Zerg just can't attack in until he maybe gets like fully upgraded Lurkers and then maybe some Vipers, and he does start up a Viper, so maybe, but.
There's your fleet beacon.
This is what we're looking at right now.
Yeah, it looks like we are going to go carrier, or maybe just get the Flux Veins upgrade. That'd be fun.
Yeah, probably both.
Yeah, 4K no los dos. Entirely possible. But so Solar taking that 5th base, bottom right. Zoun got his 4th base up and running. We've seen that a bunch. Yeah, I think Zoun's up at this point. He's even on base count. His army value is fantastic. He's even on army value with Solar, which is not where you want to be if you're the Zerg player. So Spines coming in, Lurkers, Hydras. Does he have any Vipers? We see some of those. Yes, so he has a Viper, which doesn't seem ample for what we're dealing with, but you know, it is carrier production after all. Some of it, regardless.
Zealot's going for some harassment, but harassment, if you're just harassing with like a couple Zealots at this point in the game, you're not going to have a lot of success. Good snipe on that Viper with the Void Rays, and then just pulls back. So yeah, really, really nice pick off there. Here goes in a big Zealot run by. How much this is going to get done, I'm unsure, as Solar did invest in all these Spine Crawlers. He can react to this, but he is out on the map. Big Lurker attack, but the Lurkers are by themselves. The Hydras are now coming in to help.
Here's where the Storm, there it is. Storm 1. You can even Storm the Lurkers. It doesn't kill them as fast as it kills Hydras, but it's still pretty good. Zealot attack does get cleaned up down to the south thanks to the presence of Hydras, Lings, and Spine Crawlers. Is there a right side attack? Bottom right? Yep. I think this is really more intended to keep Solar's attention.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And just buy time, you think? And then...
Yeah. Let him get a couple more upgrades up, finishes +1 air, finishes +2 ground.
3 more
lurkers. Yeah. And then when the Hydras approach, you storm. This is so good by Zoun right now.
Yeah, it's just crazy how quickly he's got up to this good composition. Like, this is the 11-minute mark, guys. And Zoun's at basically maxed out supply, getting into carriers. And that's just absurdly quick to get to this kind of composition. And a Zerg response to something like this takes time to formulate.
Yes, it really does.
Yeah.
Spire, I mean, the Spire's not done yet. Again, he's got 1 Viper, which is not enough. He's maybe going for a bit of a base trade scenario here. Maybe gonna try to take down that
adaptive talons now, so the lurkers are very quick. Hydra's doing all right versus the interceptors for now, pulling away from the Psystorm, being preemptive. Good job by Solar, but the High Templar are just going to push this back.
Yeah, beautiful storms on the lurkers here. The Hydra count staying. Where's that storm? There it is. A little bit late, but just a fantastic dodge, but there's still not enough anyway. Like Solar, I think his micro was pretty good there, but just getting shoved back regardless. He's making more Lings, making more Hydras. 8 Corruptors are on the way. The problem is the Void Rays are such a good answer to these guys.
And yeah, Zoun still got his original Void Rays that he invested into at the start of this game. That's how he got to such a lethal composition so quickly. He just built up, didn't really lose anything, and now he's pushing into Solar, who's still just making Hydras mainly. He's got 10 Corruptors on the way, but as you said, the Void Rays will dispatch those.
Dude, these Hydras are not enough for this, I don't think. Nice storm again. Solar's dodging has been really good, but you just can't dodge it perfectly is the problem here. Feedback on the Vipers abducting one of the Void Rays, that's pretty good.
Oh man, look at the Voids. They just prismatic align and that's it. Holy cow.
Gosh darn flawless PvZ from him. That was amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and again, we talked about this. The only way that Solar beats that easily, I think, is with a big Hydralisk attack at a time when Zoun doesn't have much, but it was hard to scout. It was hard to get in there and see the starport, to see the extra Void Rays, to see the double gas at the natural base. He couldn't quite get the information that he needed, so he tried to macro up, and by the time he figured out what it was too late. And that composition is so hard to deal with. Carrier, Void Ray, High Templar, Zealot, Archon. Your Corruptors are trying to get on top of the Carriers, but the Void Rays are hitting them, the Archons are hitting them, they're getting stormed. Your ground units are getting chomped up by Zealots. That is such a hard composition to deal with if you're a Zerg player. I've seen Protoss take Zerg players down with that several times in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, that was just beautiful, I'd say. And I think that very much was a Juggernautha thing. It's not going to be as easy for Zoun to do that on Oxide.
Sure. That's a good point.
So we'll see if he changes it up and both players are ready. So we'll load on into game number 2 of this best of 5. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to check out that match Reno while we're on the loading screen, as you can give free money to the prize pool by going to that URL, punching in the coupon code, you guessed it, AW68.
You probably figured it out because you're a smart person.
Mm-hmm.
Dang. I mean, I don't... If you kind of hid the names of those players, that felt as good as any Protoss player you're ever going to see. That particular build, the way he executed it, the way he pulled it off, and how easily he seemed to win with it. That could have been stats, that could have been SOS, that could have been any number of Protoss player out there, man.
Is this just a very early probe for a block, or is Zoun going to be proxying? Yeah. Okay, looks like it's just a very early probe for the block.
That's fine, yeah.
Yeah. And anyway, in the bottom left, I believe his username is actually pronounced Joan?
Oh.
But everyone calls him Zoun.
I was going to say, I'm pretty sure Tastosis calls him Zoun. And then in the top right here, we've got ourselves Solar.
Yeah, I saw a tweet that was like, "This is how you actually pronounce Joan," but Artosis literally just tweeted back, "I refuse," in all caps. So
Sounds like a tasteless move.
yeah, it's just it was pretty darn funny. It's like, oh man, I wish I knew this. Like after one or two casts, it's easily changeable. But we've cast him a lot at this point, a good amount, and now it's like, oh god, this is gonna be a tough habit to break.
Good stuff. I mean, Solar's not all that bothered by having to take his third base as his second base. I think Zerg players are pretty well acclimated to that by now, but the rest of it gets tricky. Yeah, you know what makes me sad? I was watching a GSL VOD on their YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the comments was just like, I only watch Starcraft 2 because of Tastosis. Like, I don't care about it otherwise. And it had like 17 or 18 upvotes, and I was just like, really? So I kind of asked. I was like, why do you feel that way? And they're like, we've seen, by now we've seen everything. It's like, look. I think the game's changing all the time.
It is.
But I mean, if you think you can predict everything that's going to happen in every cast you ever watch, then good for you. You're much smarter than I am, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I'm more incentivized to watch something when I know that Tastosis is casting it, or that the casters are very enjoyable. So I kind of see the point there, but like, if there's some good StarCraft going on, I'm still gonna try and catch it regardless.
Yeah. And I don't know, like, we didn't expect that build out of Zoun in game one at all. And it worked. That's the thing. It wasn't a crazy, crazy thing that failed. It worked. It was fine.
Yeah, we could have maybe made an educated guess that it would have been sky tossed, but as basically as linear as that was, just Zoun been like, yep, sky toss, that's it.
Well, it's not just sky toss. I mean, it's the fact that it was multiple void rays.
Okay, yeah.
And then the carriers were late. It wasn't a traditional sky toss play of a bunch of Phoenix, maybe a couple Oracles, maybe a Void Ray or two. It was Void Ray, a lot of Void Rays into a few carriers.
Alright, Oracle moving out for Zoun. Gonna grab 2 drones.
Spores are... It doesn't have
Oh,
spore
the
up
main,
here.
yeah, exposed, so...
Dude, it's 4.5 minutes. You don't have your safety spores yet? Solar, you falling apart on us, buddy?
Yeah, that was a really good move by Zoun. I guess Solar was trying to do the Zerg thing, which you have spores at some of the bases, and then Queens at the other. But yeah, his Queens totally got pulled out of position there.
He didn't have spores at either one of the bases when the Oracle showed up, and that's a failure. Maybe he assumed Void Ray again. He's like, he's going to make a Void Ray first. I don't really need spores for that. My Queens are fine. The Void Ray doesn't really want to go that deep into Zerg territory anyway.
Yeah, I think Solar might... He's either planning something like a big Roach Flood, because he just fired up 6 Overlords.
Yeah, he's got Roaches in production here. There's 5, but Void Rays are out, man! I don't know that Roach attacks are that great against Protoss these days.
Apparently Solar thinks if you make enough Roaches, you can make it happen, but then he fires up a drone, so I don't know if that was just like a tilt, him making that many Overlords at once, or what.
Maybe he got messed up by that Oracle and was just like, I'm never getting supply blocked again.
Yeah, but, oh, okay, he's bringing the Queens. Wow. That explains it.
That helps. That absolutely helps.
All right, this has been spotted. The Oracle goes down. That's a nice start. Joan's gonna try and throw up a shield battery. He does have 2 sentries, which will buy him some time with force fields, but of course the Ravagers can break those. Does he just retreat to his natural and try and hold on? Because I don't know if he can save his third.
No, he needs to sack this.
Yeah, like he can try and buy time at this base, but I think he just needs to start batteries at his natural, or he's gonna die on this hill of trying to hold this location. He's pulling probes to try and help out that battery that was overcharged. Does get picked off, not saved by its battery friend. The Void Rays are staying alive, but the first one dies.
I mean, if he can hold here... Oh, he was attacking his own Stalker. Oh, no. That Void Ray was hitting his own Stalker for a second. The Queens are just doing so much work here. They're transfusing. They're getting big amounts of damage off on those Void Rays. One of them finally goes down.
Yeah,
and you know what?
just one Queen left.
This changes a lot. Dodging Corrosive Biles. Another Void Ray dies.
Yeah, so the air units will have superiority, but now Solar is just rallying units and going into drones behind this. This one Void Ray has got its work cut out for it. Another Void Ray is coming in to help out. If the third can stay alive, this could be considered okay for Zoun, but that's a big if.
The fact that the Void Ray doesn't do bonus damage to anything that's here is a big problem for it. It's like, come on, die! Come on! Prismatic Alignment doesn't help at all. It's all Ling Ravagers. Trying to wall it off. Does get it. Okay, there we go. Pylon down. But he's got Lings free inside his main right now, and he's not saving that third Nexus at all. Oh, it's an actual Ravager free. That's a 18 kill Void Ray, man. So he gets the third. Like, Solar takes the third down. Congratulations.
Yeah, that was a lot of work, but he got it. And how do you proceed here as Zoun?
You counterattack with your Void Rays and see what happens, I guess. Because, I mean, Solar's going to drone his face off. He's making Lings. Okay, so the Void Rays show up at Solar's third. Well, his second base, technically. But yeah, the Queen count is just too high. We've been making Queens this whole time.
Yeah, look at all those Queens. Zoun isn't trying to get up his third base again. He's actually just going harder into the two-base play, which I actually do like. The fact that he's prioritizing getting up like a Twilight Council charge +1. Starting Psystorm now I think would be huge for him.
I agree.
Because Solar is already coming in with Hydras.
Yes, and the charge lots are a good answer here for sure. Like having speed on your Zealots really makes Hydras hate their lives. And they're pretty good against Lings too, for sure. God, that timing. You gotta have something to defend it, Zoun. Come on, man.
Yeah, the Voids are gonna...
All the Queens are here, though. Fairly well, Queens. Nice job. Third base canceled again. Yeah, Solar's making them Hydras. Archon in the mix. No Storm getting researched on our Templar archives at all. It's going to be charge lots.
And I think to come back from this deficit, Zoun definitely needs Psystorm, I feel. Like, if he's just making charge lots and some Archons off at two bases with his Void Rays, I don't see a chance of him killing Solar. Unless Solar grossly overcommits, which is maybe, but I don't even know.
Yeah, this is a lot of Hydralisks out on the map. Their range upgrade is almost done.
Oh, some Hydras getting caught out.
Hydras there, but hence a couple. All right. Just picking off a couple Hydras for basically free here. I love the charge lots in the mix, but the Queen support is, again, too much.
Yeah,
if it was just the Hydras, I'd feel better about it, but these Queens as support units are so good.
Yeah, there's just too many Zerg units here.
Yeah, 64 to 38 army supply. Solar is up. These Queens are going to take a while to get over there, but he's making more High Templar, but just for Archons, I guess. That's all he can do with them. You could feed back the Queens, I suppose. But, yeah, his Zealots keep running in there and dying. The Void Rays cannot commit for anything more than a second or two. The Archon's getting some nice splash damage off. Again, bonus versus biological is pretty good here. Everything Zerg has is biological. But it's so much army supply from Solar. He's up 20 workers. His army's bigger. He's on 3 base to 2. The longer this goes, I think Solar's tied up the series.
I think you're right about that, as those Voiders get picked off, and Solar is able to make it 1-1.
Does the thing. Yeah, I think that's honestly, it feels kind of cheesy, but for Zerg players these days, it feels more viable for them to get these early attacks in. Protoss just is feeling so confident that they can get 3 bases up with barely any defense. go right into Sky Toss, right into carriers. And Zerg, I think they need to be able to punish that in order to have a better chance of winning the late game.
Yeah.
Underdog saying Zoun is poor. I don't know, man. He won game 1. He's looking pretty good. He's not getting shut out here today.
All right.
Best of 5. There you go. Person asking in chat.
Yeah, make sure to let your friends know that this awesome StarCraft 2 is going on, guys. If your friend says, hey, what are you doing on this Friday night? You say, I'm being a responsible citizen, staying home and watching some StarCraft. You should too.
Absolutely. Come hang out. You won't regret it. This is going to be a great event. It already is a very fun event for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Cooked Zoun. Oh, cope.
All right. In the bottom right, it's Zoun.
And in the top left, got ourselves Solar, fan favorite, winner of so many Afreeca worlds. This guy.
Mm-hmm.
We have a statue built to him out in front of the building, actually. The Afreeca world building.
The Afreeca world building, where we go to cast these online tournaments.
Yeah.
That's the dream right there.
It's in bronze. It's very nice. I think the sculptors did a nice job with it.
Yeah, it's made Solar look very chiseled.
Shirtless. All right. So let's see if Solar goes for some more early aggression. Maybe Zoun will play this a little safer, considering what happened to his third base last game.
Yeah, it is submarine, so aggression
for sure.
is kind of a given.
It is, although I did cast a game that was like 27 minutes on submarine the other day. I was like, how did we even do this?
Was it a TvZ?
It was. Yeah.
Terrans don't mind turtling on this map so much.
No, it's good point.
Because it's kind of like, oh, the Zerg can't just take all like a dozen bases because there's not a dozen bases, so I can just turtle.
Makes sense.
So,
Available economics.
Yeah, it kind of works like that, which is funny. This probe running away.
Take a little shield damage, but that never hurt no one. No one's died from lack of shields. Man, I want to get the Cyberpunk 2077. I really do, but I also need a new video card, and those are impossible to get.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I've been sitting on a GTX 970 for the last couple of years, and it's been fine, but Cyberpunk is so friggin' demanding.
Yeah, I believe it.
So, I've been planning, I've saved money for this, to get a new video card. AMD and NVIDIA both releasing cards this fall, and neither one of them can keep them in stock to any extent, so...
No, you almost have to buy the last generation. Just because. But then there's been such big improvements lately that you don't want to do that. So
that's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I used to have two 1080s in my PC.
Ooh.
And then I got rid of one of them because I got a different case. And now I'm like, oh, if I play a game and it doesn't run as well as it used to, I know that's really going to bug me. So if I play something like I was thinking about buying the new Tomb Raider the other day or Cyberpunk or something like that, and it doesn't run optimally, I'm like, oh no, then I'll have to spend a lot of money. Because I am one of those people that gets very bugged if I can't run a game perfectly.
Yeah. Like, once it's been ruined for you, it's kind of over.
Mm-hmm.
Can't unsee the problems. Gabe from Penny Arcade actually tweeted out a screenshot from his Xbox.
Oh,
like the latest gen, the Xbox Series X. I can't keep their naming convention straight, but the latest console, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, it looks like garbage for Cyberpunk. He's like,
no.
I understand why they didn't let reviewers tweet out their own screenshots. It's like, yeah, PlayStation 5 seems to be doing great with it.
But
if you can find a PlayStation 5. But the Xbox is not handling it well. I'm not sure. Maybe the optimization just wasn't as done as well as it should have been.
Yeah.
That was disappointing.
That's kind of odd. I did see a screenshot. I have seen some of that. It's like, oh no. Don't
Yeah,
let...
some of the screenshots are very not safe for work.
Oh, those
That's
ones,
another
yeah.
thing.
I I saw a screenshot not knowing it was Cyberpunk, and I was like, why is this on my feed? And then I was like, oh, wait a second.
Cyberpunk, obviously. Alright, so Starcraft is happening. We're going Adept Printer Go Burr at the moment.
Yeah, but the problem is, when it comes to printer wars, I think Roach Printer beats Adept Printer.
Yeah, there's already 9 roaches on the way, and there's no adepts on the field yet. So we're losing that race.
I'm gonna say that Zoun will leave this game in approximately 1 minute and 40 seconds. Adepts versus roaches just very rarely works well.
Yeah. The Ling's kind of pinning him in place. The roaches doing the murdering. So, Showtime actually did this against Cyril at Asus Rogue. Cyril was totally ready for it, and Showtime just went home with his adepts and was like, I'll use them later. And he won the game. Like, he had him as part of his next attacking composition with Colossus and stuff, and he totally won. I was like, you know, I kind of love that from Showtime. Like, don't suicide your adepts in there if they're not going to get much done. It's not worth trading, you know, 15 adepts for 6 drones.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Have them around part of your composition, melting Lings that try to get flanks and just dealing damage.
Yeah.
So we'll see if Zoun does that or not. If he wants to kill these or if he wants to keep them alive for later stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if he sees it that way, if he thinks, like, I can't transition, I'm too committed. He starts up an Immortal now, after warping in 6 more adepts, so I don't know what he'll be able to get done.
He could be too far down the rabbit hole.
I think he may be, like, he doesn't have a Robo Bay on the way or anything, so he can't do that Colossus transition, as you said.
Yeah.
He might be going for the big shade. He cancels it, though.
He knows if he shades in there, they're all dead. Like,
yeah.
That's the problem. This is nice. Okay, that's pretty nice. There we go. Several Lings going down, saving the adepts, shuttling into the main base for more shenanigans.
Oh, and another Warpin in the main.
Oh, that's probably a canceled Warpin? I don't know. So he's doing the split, the divide and conquer maneuver, which is okay. What's he got? Total of 5 drone kills? Not great.
Yeah, I don't know if that's enough for the Protoss player, because behind this he's still on 2 bases. He's gonna have out 2 Immortals, which is cool, I guess. But
yeah,
then he's still on 2 bases.
Sure, but against roaches, 2 Immortals is like the destroyer, man. Like,
yeah.
2 Immortals are pretty good against roach. Assuming it's not like, you know, 50 roaches or anything, but
yeah,
with Adept kind of standing in.
There's just
Immortals
so
in the back
much
doing
solar,
damage.
though.
There is. There's a lot of Zerglings. Immortals do not like those guys at all.
Like, yeah, I don't even know what you're supposed to do as Zoun. Like, I'd say like Robo and Disruptors or something.
Yeah, that'd be good. Oh, that's another thing Showtime had. He had Disruptors too.
Okay. Yeah, he's very good with those.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm just like, Adepts does seem like a bit of a dead end. As far
it doesn't have to be, but at this point, where that production tab is a pylon, it probably is.
Yeah, Zoun went for 6 gates off this initial opening, and it does seem like that was a little bit too much, so he felt committed. He's gonna try and go for an attack, it appears, with some sentries warping in a bunch more adepts. Solar has foregone any significant AoE. There is going to be Corrosive Biles. Zoun can split against those, though. So maybe his mass adepts, 30 adepts, are going to be able to make this happen.
I can't see it, but here we go. I do love the sentries involved. He's going to lose his cybernetics core. Force Field's kind of messing up some of the Ravager stuff, but Corrosive Biles are so good at dealing with those, and this is just Solar's not even, he's stutter stepping forward.
I mean,
he feels like he has this, but look at the Immortals back here.
Yeah, Zoun's doing okay. The Lings that were in the counterattack are being pulled back, but we do see the Protoss's buffers start to disappear. The Immortals, of course, can be evacuated in the Prism, but after that it's like, what do you have as Zoun?
I mean, they were doing a good job focusing the Roaches, because they do bonus damage to those guys and not the Ravagers. That was good. But just too many Ravagers left over, and really no answer to them here at all.
Yeah. It was a good attempt, but like, I think Solar kind of saw that one coming, so. Now we see a Baneling nest on the way for Solar, so adding that, better late than never. More and more lings on the way. The existing Ravagers are still there. The Observer.
Files, yeah.
Yeah, like... I get what Zoun's trying to do.
But Solar's getting a 4th base, and Solar's still on 2. And Solar's not teching up at all beyond this.
Yeah. It's like trying to run a marathon in gumboots. It could be done, but it's just not a good idea in the first place.
No.
Yeah, oh gosh, here come the Banes.
Force field's decent? No, not great, actually.
GG.
GG! Yeah, okay. Zoun went far down the rabbit hole, couldn't find his way back out. The end.
He didn't really try to get out of the rabbit hole, he just dug deeper.
Yes, he did. He went very deep. Yeah, Underdog doesn't understand Zoun's micro here. Agreed, but I don't know what he does. Like, how does he micro accurately here?
Yeah, there's only so much you can do with that. Maybe at the start of the big fight if he had a Shade pending. But Solar did kind of jump on him at the start of the fight. So maybe that the first big fight could have gone better for him.
Could have.
But even then, like, I don't know if any fight he could possibly take there would work for him.
Right.
All
Weird
right,
position to be in, man.
Yeah.
Players are ready. Yeah. Whew, getting into romanticide. So back to your marathon comment. I bet there's like a Guinness Book of World Records for like who's run marathons in weird shoes and stuff.
Yeah.
I bet there's a record for like a barefoot marathon.
Oh, probably. Well, I mean, there is Terry Fox, which was not
He the barefoot guy.
Not with a no. He's like a big Canadian hero. Ran or tried to run across Canada to raise money for cancer, and he had one leg. So.
Wow, good luck with that.
Oh yeah, it's incredible. He ran like a marathon a day for, like 100 days or something like that.
Dang.
Yeah, it was very, very impressive stuff. And
it's ultra marathon
big
stuff.
part of Canadian culture. So anyway, here we are. He's got the lead, 2-1 in the top left. It's Kazi Gaming Solar. Big shout out to Kazi Gaming for sponsoring Solar.
Yeah, and in the bottom right, we got ourselves a Red Protoss player. He's young, but he is good. It is Zoun. So the fastest barefoot marathon was 2 hours and 15 minutes by an Ethiopian named Abebe Bikila. In 1960.
Was it ran on cement or was it like along a beach or something?
Nobody's... you want to run on a beach. That's horrible running.
Well, like, on hard sand, it's not so bad.
That's true.
Because, like, it kind of absorbs the impact.
Let me see if I can find this out. Oh, there's a YouTube video. 1960, though. Like, what's crazy is... no one's beat that record? Barefoot runners are still very much a thing.
Yeah.
I wonder if all the marathon runners are just like, eh.
Because, like, what's a good time for a marathon? Because I don't know.
2 hours is amazing.
2 hours is amazing. So an extra 40 minutes to do it barefoot.
The current world record is 2 hours and 1 minute.
So that seems really doable.
Yeah, if
like,
someone's running it 2 hours and 1 minute with shoes, they can probably barefoot it in 2:15.
Yeah, like if they practice like without shoes for a bit.
Yeah.
And
so he's on road, like just pavement.
Yeah, I wanna get a treadmill so I can actually do barefoot running because it forces you to run differently apparently, like more naturally. So you run more on like the front of your foot as opposed to the back.
I've heard that argument. Yeah,
and it's something I'd like to try, but it's like, well, I'm not gonna run down the street barefoot, and I don't own a treadmill, so not today.
Well, and it's like, if you go to a gym, do you want to run barefoot on
no,
the treadmill?
You don't want to be that weird-ass guy.
Right, that's the thing. If you want to run barefoot on a treadmill, you got to get your own. Definitely.
Or go to a beach. All right, so
So something's happening here. What is it? Hey, a Stargate.
yeah, not a lot of significance. Romanticide definitely a better map for that Stargate play, I feel.
Yeah, much bigger. Way more expansions. Like at least 4 more expansions than Submarine.
Someone ran a sub 2-hour marathon, but with pacers to help keep pace.
So that doesn't count?
I think that should count. Like, he still ran it in the time. He just had a very good form of motivation.
Yeah, that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Not recognized as the world record, though.
Yeah,
Wonder why that is.
That's kind of interesting.
Because, like, it's just like having a coach, right? You can get
Yeah.
world records and stuff you're being coached in.
Mm-hmm.
Mysterious.
It is kind of cool, though, how having pacers would make such a difference, having someone running alongside you.
Yeah.
Okay, keep on going, keep on going.
Well, so much of a marathon is mental.
Yeah.
Like, so much of it is just keep going, keep a steady pace. Your brain wants to fall out of its head at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it would make sense to have somebody there being like, you're lagging a little bit, kick it up a notch, right?
Yeah.
Because I think it would be hard to notice that if you're on, like, mile 18.
Yeah, you don't notice yourself slowing down.
Mm-mm.
I don't know. I don't run a lot. Last time I did, I messed up my ankle, and I've been gimped for a few months, so...
How's that coming back?
It's getting better. Which is good. Alright, 2 Adepts being warped in by Zoun for starters. He does have Resonating Glaives on the way, but it looks like he might... No, he's not going to try and sneak these in. This is just a start of the warp-ins, I guess, and yeah, more and more Adepts.
Yep, it's got a Void Ray in the mix this time, though. That's different from the last game.
He had shoes that helped him. Is there rules against what shoes you can wear? Were they rocket shoes or something?
No wonder he ran it sub 2 hours. He had rocket boots.
I could do better
like
than
sub
2
1
hours in
hour.
rocket boots.
He had shoes that helped. Everybody has shoes that help them when they're wearing
Technically,
shoes.
yeah, any shoe helps you.
All right, here we go. Depth's coming in, but, I mean, it's just going to be Lings. Okay, Roaches, Lings.
Oh, these 4 Roachy boys are kind of out by themselves.
Yeah, sort of. They're all right. Sneak in the back door. Go, go, go. The Roaches are out of position. Get them. So one Roach dies.
Oracle. The Queens are being delivered, but not to the right spot as the Adept Shade does finish. Drones are running away. 4, 6, 7 gone down already. The Oracle's even pursuing some, and Solar, who was planning his own all-in, all of a sudden found himself in a lot of trouble.
Oh, this is going so much better. 22 drones is way better than 5 drones. Look at this.
Yeah, magnitude's better. And
he's still sneaking in
wow.
a little bit.
Wow.
Dude, Solar's at 25 to 63 workers, y'all.
Yeah, this is not good at all. And Zoun back at home, he just needs to do that Protoss thing, which you sandbag, you build batteries, warp in, literally whatever you can get. And time is on your side.
Solar cannot kill you.
Yeah, Solar's still ahead on army supply by a significant margin, so Zoun's really got to take this seriously and head home. But if he can hold on, he's going to be looking at a 2-2 series. Shield battery's already helping out, as most of the Zerg force isn't even here yet. These Roaches slow to get across the map.
This Queen shuttle thing is really nice. I like it.
Yeah,
but all the transfuses are being used to keep these Queens alive, and I think the energy's like gone on these Queens now.
Yeah, the Void Rays are really doing a lot of work targeting down those Queens. The shield battery's still going strong, keeping the Voids going. And once the Queens are gone, that's basically it for Solar. Zoun's got no problem even pulling probes into the equation. Solar's trying to micro the Queens to keep them alive. Only 1 Void remains. That needs to be healed up, but...
Yeah, the Adepts behind this wall are just crushing right now. That said, Lings are getting inside, getting on top of these guys a little bit. That's your GG. Yep, Zoun forces a game 5. Nicely done.
Wow.
It was the all-in meets the all-in, and Zoun's was better.
And we've got a game 5 just like that.
Excellent. Love a game 5 in our first series of the day. Always very fun. But yeah, I mean, I love the Dropper Lord play to bring the queens to the front. It's like, aha, you think this is a big map, and I can't get my queens over here. Watch this. But then the Adepts were killing his stuff before he could show off his neat trick, and that was it. I don't know. Like, is it too much to ask Solar to just macro out of that?
I don't think he can. Probably. He lost so many drones.
He did.
And yeah, Zoun was on 3 bases, so that was like that really good Protoss attack, which was, I don't know, was that 6 gates, 4 gates? It definitely wasn't like a huge commitment for Zoun. That was maybe, what, like 10 Adepts that did all that damage? Maybe 15? I don't know, but whatever he did that game, it definitely worked.
Yeah. Nemesis just hit me up on Discord to tell me that our Nairobian marathon runner won a gold medal for that in the 1960. So nice job.
Oh, okay. In the 1960s Olympics, huh? And yeah. He just did it barefoot? Was that because he didn't own shoes, or?
So he had been running barefoot, like, growing up a lot, right? Because he was dirt poor.
Yeah.
And then people that are like, here are these nice shoes by Adidas. And he's like, I don't like them. So he's like, I tried them. I tried training in them and stuff. It doesn't work for me. So barefoot it is.
Why would I put something on my feet that's just extra weight?
Right. And I'm like, running shoes in 1960, I can't imagine were incredible anyway.
All right.
So I'm gonna Google this guy to see why he was disqualified. Copenhagen DOS is telling me to do it. This is a good time for it.
Anyway, we got Zoun.
We do. And then we got Solar up this way.
Yeah. Haven't mentioned them yet. Alpha X, the awesome team that supports Zoun. Also do a lot of events out on Afreeca. Production tab, can do.
So the sub 2-minute marathon was actually run in 2019.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I believe it.
So he does it, but he got disqualified because this is a right up before.
It's actually kind of crazy, the development of athletes and how far sports have come.
Agreed.
Compared to, like, I think the best example that I saw was, like, it was like the 1960s Olympic gymnast gold medal versus like the versus like the 2020 or 2018 or whatever one.
Yeah.
And it's like a simple somersault got gold back in those days, and today you have to do like a triple ninja front back sideways flip or whatever.
Several of those, yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Kind of like Starcraft.
Okay, it is. So these are called Vaporflies by Nike.
Okay.
Since their debut in 2017, marathoners have run 3 to 4% faster than their previous personal bests.
Wow.
The shoes, the runners say they feel like they're running on trampolines.
Huh.
Oh, there's... All right.
Now, why were they banned?
Because the International Association of Athletics Foundations said shoes must not be constructed so as to give athletes any unfair assistance or advantage.
But, like...
I know, shoes.
Yeah, it's like literally any shoe gives you an advantage. Otherwise, you wouldn't wear them.
I know, but that is...
Your shoes can only be so good. Yes. Otherwise, it's unfair.
The problem, I think, comes from it's a scientifically noticeably different result. Like a 4% improvement to personal bests for professional marathon runners is humongous. Yeah. And if every one of them is like, it's the shoes, then it's like, okay, these are $400 shoes. We're trying to pretend that we're an amateur thing in the Olympics, right? And if every runner has to have $300 shoes, then that disqualifies a bunch of people.
Yeah, I guess
Maybe
so.
that's what they're going for. Like, we're not the Winter Olympics.
But then
where
again,
you have to have $500 worth of ski equipment to compete, you know?
But then again, it's like, I don't know, that seems so silly for them to draw the line. If I was Nike, I'd have sued the heck out of them. And I bet they did. Because imagine how many pairs of shoes Nike didn't sell because of that ruling.
No. They're more famous now than they were, I think. Hey, did you hear about those shoes that were so good they're banned from the Olympics? Come on.
Yeah, but then it's like, oh,
That's way
why
more
would I ever
famous.
wear those if I'm not going to be allowed to use them in a competition?
Well, in the Olympics. Other stuff, sure. That's the thing. Like, if you're a runner and you're not Olympic level, which is the vast majority of runners,
Okay.
right? Then you want this super cool shoe that it can improve your personal time by 6%.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think Nike's okay with it.
I wonder how much the improvement is for someone who's, like, not a runner at all.
Yeah. I don't know. That'd be fun to see, though.
There's probably been a lot of studies done on it, but that's interesting.
Cope says that shark skin swimsuits are banned from the Olympics because there's a 15% increase in speed in the water.
Oh,
So same thing. Basically, if there is a piece of equipment that has that much of a noticeable improvement in speed in something in the Olympics, they'll ban it. But I
guess that kind of makes sense. Because, like,
Yeah.
what if someone came up with a car with, like, shoes that had wheels on them?
Right.
And it's like, next thing you know, it's just roller skating a marathon instead of running it.
Yeah.
So I guess they do have to draw a line somewhere, but...
Somewhere. But I mean, the thing is, there's been steady improvements to equipment over time and everything since the 60s, right? So
yeah.
I think maybe once the technology that's in this Nike shoe just becomes super cheap and everywhere, they'll allow it. But I think just the fact that it's new and it's expensive, they're like, let's wait until this is more freely available.
What Nike should have done is just, like, split it in half so it was only, like, 2% better.
Yeah, they could have gotten away with that, I bet.
Yeah, they would have got away with it if it wasn't for you meddling.
6% improvement.
Oh, man.
Learn something today.
Anyway, it's kind of like StarCraft, guys, talking about
check this out.
much sports has improved.
Storm hosts.
Ooh, and a Nidus to go with it.
Did I tell you about... I watched a StarCraft 2 cast from HD StarCraft from 2010.
No, you didn't.
So, just randomly the other night, I was like, I want to see some old Wings of Liberty stuff. So it's a ZVT, right? And it's professional level. I can't remember who the players were. They're really great players, though. And the Zerg takes a third base at 8 minutes.
Oh
and HD's like, oh, man, the Terrans got to punish that now. That is such an early third. I was like, what? I don't remember this being the case. When were third bases for Zerg at 8 minutes incredibly early? It was so different. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, different times. And it's kind of funny, too, how that works, because, like, Zergs can't even go 3 hatch before pool now.
Right.
And yet the third's still so much quicker.
Yeah, like, and we're not at 8 minutes yet, and Solar's at 150 supply. Like, that's what we're doing here.
Well,
Anyway,
whether that'll do him any
big
good
attack.
against this all-in, that's the question. He was planning on sending his Swarm host out, but all of a sudden they are needed in this defense now.
Swarm hosts in defense are not good. Just walk away from... Oh, or we can sit here and get killed by them.
Walk
That's fine,
away.
too.
Down.
What is happening?
Don't do it. You don't want to fight them, Locust. All his Archons are popping like balloons.
Oh my gosh, he fought with the Locust.
I mean, he kind of won the fight, but there's just going to be another wave of Locust, and then he's going to...
No, he did not win the fight. Look at this. He's done. Get out of there.
No, Zoun. No.
All he had to do was back up, wait for the Locust
Solar's
to expire, and then go back
Swarm
in.
host out of this Nidus, and Zoun's going to lose a base, and then he'll GG, probably.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah, he should have backed out.
Yep.
Oh, no, Zoun. Oh, no.
I mean, this is okay, but...
He's doing some good micro, but...
Yeah.
This is like half of Solar's army. There's the Swarm hosts that are going to destroy his base.
Yes. Fairly well, Nexus. No saving this thing. None. Zero saving it.
It was a good
That's your
attempt
GG.
by Zoun, but yeah, he's done. There's a Nidus that's calling in his natural base. Zealots warped in, they'll just die to the Locust.
They all die. I mean, oh, hang on. The expiration was a little bit sooner than I expected. Third base going to go down. Solar's up 100 supply